The Biden administration is sending troops to Eastern Europe in an effort to stop a Russian invasion of Ukraine. That move has many Americans asking if it's in our country's best interest to get involved.
One American who believes the United States should be involved is former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He says that protecting Ukraine is vital to our country's economy. He also thinks that President Biden's weak foreign policy is enabling Vladimir Putin. Here's David Brody with the details.
At this point, the biggest question remains, will President Vladimir Putin invade Ukraine?
No one knows the answer to that question. He may not even know at this point. He's racking and stacking. He's performing pretty elegant, rational math for himself to say, I want to have more political influence, more control in my near abroad. He feels still that the Soviet Union was a great thing, and he wants to restore as much of it as he can.
Is there a moral obligation to stop him?
So America's always had a strong belief that we wanted to support other democracies. Part of it's moral, part of it's our understanding of human dignity and the value of every human life, David. But part of it's just plain old importance to American national security. They are twin pillars.
And another pillar is the American economy, something Pompeo believes could be directly affected.
Almost a third of the wheat, red winter wheat that travels across the world comes out of Ukraine and Russia and goes through the Black Sea, the very thing that is being threatened by Vladimir Putin. These things matter to the global food supply. If you're living in the outskirts of Las Vegas or Bakersfield or in Tennessee or Georgia or in the upper Midwest, you depend on these stable food supplies.
The former Secretary of State and CIA director believes it is the Biden administration that helped create this mess in Eastern Europe.
The United States enabled this, and that's just most unfortunate, David.
When you say enable that, explain exactly what you mean.
There's so many pieces to this. Deterrence is about mindset. It's about convincing your adversaries that you are serious and determined. And so, President Biden goes to meet with Vladimir Putin to talk about the fact that he shut down an American pipeline for gasoline in our country and says, don't do that again. No other costs imposed.
There's a lot of folks in America, tens of millions, that have no trust in Biden whatsoever, that he's going to bungle this one, too.
So I pray that they get it right. I want good things for them. This isn't about R's and D's. This is about America. I hope they get it right.
China's watching this, and do you believe they're seeing weakness from the Biden administration on this?
Well, of course they are. The whole world can observe that weakness. Yeah, Xi Jinping's doing his math too, not just with respect to Taiwan, with respect to running spies inside the United States.
If Trump, by the way, was president, would Putin dare even try any of this?
I can only say as a faithful Christian, I can only say I don't know, but I can tell you that he didn't.
Despite tough words on Biden's handling of Putin and Russia, he does like the decision to go after ISIS's top leader.
The world is safer as a result of him no longer being part of it. So congratulations to the Biden team for getting that done. It's not the end. The threat from radical Islamic terrorism remains, but it's always good when you can, in a way that we did, reach out, take down leadership of these terror networks. You make more difficult for them to bring that terror to our homeland.
David Brody, CBN News, Washington.
Well, the world is looking at American weakness when you have the spokesman for the South Korean military saying America is getting weaker as we speak. They're not talking about any one particular administration. I mean, you can point to the withdrawal from Afghanistan as a major blunder, that you don't get your own citizens out of the country before you get your military out of the country. So you can look at that and say that was a huge blunder. But what they're really looking at is the political division within our country, where you look over the past 4 years, 2 attempts to impeach a sitting president, then the whole turmoil over the election in 2020, the continuing turmoil, the continuing division. Is the Biden administration really centered and in power? Or are we just biding time until the midterm elections? All of those things point to weakness. And then on top of it, we're weakening our own currency. We're continuing to borrow against our currency. Our debt is up to $30 trillion. And the world is actively wondering, can we even afford another war? Can we afford to be the world's police? All of these questions point to American weakness. There's a lot more to this equation than one particular administration. We have to come back together as a people. And again, a house divided can't stand. We have to find ways to come together.